Previously on the Elevate With Us podcast, I am so excited to welcome Danny Hernandez to the podcast today. So Danny, thank you so much for coming because I know you had to travel here.
I started in real estate back in '88, started selling condos out of the beach in North Miami Beach and Aventura. I opened up my brokerage. I had several offices, 7 all throughout, South America, the Bahamas, and in Miami and Orlando. We found out that we really needed a good presence in the state of Florida if we really wanted to go internationally.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's amazing. The international real estate fascinates me just because I don't know anything about it. And I didn't know it was so different.
Mm-hmm.
I did think there was an MLS
No.
because I wouldn't know any better. I mean, I've never looked at real estate internationally, but that's super fascinating.
Yes.
That it's that's a who you know business.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's always important. I always say, what do you think's better? Is it who you know or what you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I tend to feel who you know gets you more places than what you know, because who you know teaches you what you know. And I think your life story kind of, portrays that for sure. So that's really, really fascinating.
Yeah, we're like we're in Singapore, we're in Philippines, we're in Italy, we're in Portugal, we're in Spain, we're in Costa Rica, we're in Belize, we're in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, we're in Barbados, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Ecuador, Bolivia. We're actively talking with people in Brazil right now, which should be coming on board very shortly here. We're talking with Greece. We are also in Cyprus as well. So We're really, our footprint across, the world has really increased in the past couple of years. And it's just creating that momentum.
For sure. No, absolutely. I don't think that many realtors understand what it means to be an international company, that other brands are not international, or they're kind of like the leverage that gives you as a realtor to partner with buyers and sellers, having that international piece, because it does happen that you have a customer that says, hey, I always go to the Bahamas. I've always wanted to buy real estate there, but I don't know what to do. Well, guess what? I can help with that.
Yeah,
or anyone in Realty ONE
Absolutely.
Group, whether they're with Realty ONE Group Elevate or another Realty ONE Group across the country, we have that ability. That's amazing.
That's what sets us apart, and that's what a lot of people, real estate practitioners, say. I can't believe that. That's what they say. It says, I can't believe that you guys offer this. Yes, we do offer it.
Yes.
You have access to our leadership. I mean, anybody of our ages can call our leadership. We are an open book to the whole real estate practitioner world. We truly are. And in fact, when we went to Portugal, the president of the company, 𝗏𝗏 sat in one of our competitors' office because he was the best friend of our master broker, João Oliveira, in Portugal. He says, can you come help me visit my friend. He has a brokerage with another brand. I'm not going to say the name. It was after dinner. It was 9 o'clock at night. We go walk in the freezing cold because Vinny knows I don't like the cold. Anyway, that's why I'm in Florida.
I need to. I don't like the cold. No more for me.
We walked to this guy's brokerage, this gentleman's brokerage. He's the owner. Gorgeous brokerage. At 9 o'clock at night, agents in the office. I mean, the office was
9 o'clock at night, there's
9
agents?
o'clock, freezing cold in Portugal. We walk in there, and 𝗏𝗏 sits across the table from the broker owner and asks, has your president ever been to this office? You know what the gentleman said? He says, I don't even know who my president is.
I was going to say, he probably doesn't even know his name.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know who he is. He wouldn't even know who to call.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even know who to call.
He goes, I'm the president of Realty ONE Group, and I'm sitting in your office. Surely enough, that guy paid to exit his brokerage and join Realty ONE Group just because of that.
Wow. That's amazing.
A story.
See, it matters who you work with. It really matters who you partners with, and because it's relationships.
Absolutely.
We keep circling back to that, but it's so important. So we've got our 6 C's, which are super, super important, right? And we love culture. Can you define more what culture is? I mean, I know what it is, but for everybody, what is it? Because it's hard to pocket, right? It's like a feeling, right? It's a feeling, but what does it embrace, and why was it important to 𝗥𝗢𝗚?
Well, as you know, the number one is very important to 𝗥𝗢𝗚. So obviously, Realty ONE Group, everything's about the one. We take the pictures with the
We do.
one. Everything's with one.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's our brand. One. You
One,
see
we
it
got
everywhere.
him up here, yeah.
And you capitalize one, and all of our
Yep.
emails, anything that has to do with one, we capitalize it.
My favorite is when I realize that the notched
On the end,
and the empty space makes a 1 too.
yeah.
It took me, I mean, I probably should admit that, but I just did. But as soon as you see it always that you guys look up the one, the
Yes.
word one, and the N is notched.
Yeah.
And the empty space next to the E forms a 1. It's so cool.
Isn't it?
Whoever came up with that.
That's what I'm saying. These fresh
so
minds that are
smart.
marketing departments, these guys.
It's
Shout out
so
to you guys.
pretty. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for being smart with marketing.
Dustin, Give Me, Jen, all you guys are just
Thank
unbelievable.
you, because I'm not good.
Yes. They help us
Oh,
tremendously.
it's so
And
cool.
they're the unsung heroes of our brand, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But talking about the one and our culture, our culture really is defined by one love. And I say that because we all share and we all care about each other. One
Right.
love, right? It's also celebrating each other.
Yep. They can't see it in the podcast, but you guys can't see it, but I'm going to point to it, like pretend like you can see it. Maybe you can, is we have a gong,
Correct.
right? And the gong looks like a coin.
Mhm.
And that's a part of our culture is
yes.
that I encourage the agents that, you're all independent contractors, right? Everybody, in other real estate companies that I've been with, because I've been doing this since 2007, you often feel like everybody has blinders on. They got their head down, and you don't know what goes on with other
Yeah.
people. So I tell them, if you're in the office and you're making calls or you get a contract, whatever it is your win, go hit it so we can all
Go hit it.
celebrate.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
want to celebrate you. We want to know that something amazing happened to you, and it could be little, but to you it's a big win. But we don't know unless you tell us.
You don't.
And so we have a lot of fun with the gong.
I mean, we celebrate each other, especially on social media.
Uh-huh.
When brokers hire new agents, we'll go in there and say, "Welcome to the one."
Exactly.
And we'll have, the black and gold hearts, and
with
then
the number
with the
one. It's my favorite.
And we do that from the leadership. Everybody gets
Everyone.
involved. So that's part of our culture. Again, also is, telling your story.
Sure.
We tell our broker owners, and this is part of our culture. We tell our broker owners saying, to recruit, you have to tell your story,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Now, to retain is to allow your agents to tell your story better than you.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's part of our culture, and Kathy Baker also says that as well.
If you guys don't know who Kathy Baker is, I highly encourage you look her up. She is a firecracker of a human being.
Oh, yes. I love her.
Kind of unassuming with a little Southern accent.
Mm,
A little
Little
unassuming,
spitfire.
but
she's
let me
seen
tell you
this.
something. She is
Love you,
no
Kathy.
joke, amazing, and quite an inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you cannot walk away from a conversation with Kathy Baker without feeling empowered.
And you start off, when you buy the brokerage, you start off with her. You start up in the step up program, and she's the first person to
So
set you
good.
off. I mean, this
so good.
yeah.
No, the support that we get trickles down, right? Because if we feel empowered and supported and not panicked, we're able to give that energy to our agents, which I think is so important.
Absolutely.
And I think that, the impact that has on agents as they, move around and do different things, and they are a part of other brokerages, and they realize that that same kind of open door policy that leadership has is the same culture we have here, is that
Absolutely.
we tell the agents, I'm never too busy for you. You just let me know what you need and I'll make myself available. I like to say there are no emergencies in real estate. This is not brain surgery. No one's dying. You might feel like you're dying. Your customer might feel like you're dying, but take a deep breath and we'll figure it out. But don't panic. We're here to help you every step of the way, because it could be hard.
Yeah, it could be hard. And sometimes we're open to our agent pool as well, your agents.
Yep.
We're not just going to just communicate with you, but if your agents want to communicate with us, which a lot of them do, they just want to hear a different voice other than their broker.
For sure. They're tired of hearing
confirmation.
Mine are tired of hearing
and we're
about
okay
hearing
with
from
that.
me.
We actually encourage
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Not
we're
like
doing
other
that
brands.
in Florida.
Yeah.
We're putting together mastermind groups with the other broker owners, which I'm so excited about,
Mhm.
because it could just be like a little different piece of a conversation.
Absolutely.
That they hear it and then it clicks. And then they're like, I
started
get
doing
it now.
that this year. I said, let me put all the broker owners together.
I
And
love
let's
our
bring in
chats.
And it's just incredible. And we
It
chat
is.
not only on Zoom, but we chat on our, regular chat,
Yep.
WhatsApp chat.
Yep.
I mean, we're communicating constantly. And that's one of the things that I love about our Florida brokerages is that we're really united. There's
We're
really no
super
animosity.
united. Absolutely.
I am so proud of our Florida group, that how united they are and how they help each other out.
Oh, yeah.
And, it came to a point that some of our broker owners have said, hey, let's join venture. Let's open up an office here and there and blah, blah, blah.
I know, it's so great, right? There's 3 broker owners that are starting another one in the Orlando area.
Yes, correct. Mainer, Ximena, and Nydia. I kind of dangled that carrot for a while. I was like, because they had agents in Orlando, and I was like, we have over 20, almost close to now 30,000 agents in Orlando, have only one office. And I said to these powerhouses,
Orlando's that big, huh?
That big, yes.
So how many MLSs are there?
Just one.
Oh, just one, but that
there's
many.
several associations, but just one MLS, which is Stellar.
Oh, all of them are a part of Stellar.
Yes. So I said, guys, why don't you just join venture and just open up an office in Orlando?
So cool. Is it open yet?
They're about looking for space as we speak. Yes.
Very cool. Can't wait for that.
Yeah,
so
I can't meet either. That's where I live.
Right.
So
that's your home base, right? You'd love to have there be an office there.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really great. So I love your story. It's so inspiring. It's so amazing. What piece of advice would you give an agent that might be on the struggle bus right now? Whether they're a new agent that left a career that thought this was quick, easy money, or an agent that's been in it for, we'll just say 3 years when it was really good, and they're just, they're just feeling down because they're not having the sales and they don't have any wealth. They might have sold, they might have brought in last year 300,000, but they spent 320,000.
Right.
What do they need to do?
Always go by the example of $100 bill.
Okay.
As an agent, you make a commission, it's $100, right? You take $100, and this is just quick, simple math. Okay, you take $100, $20 has to go to taxes.
Yep.
20%.
20%. Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got 80. Okay, so what are you going to do with 80? All right, well, you take another 20, it's for expenses, right? Your daily living, right? So now you're down to what? 60, right?
$60.
You're an independent contractor, you're your own business. What do? You got to, in order to make money, you got to what?
Spend money.
Right? So you take another 20 for your own business. So now you're down to what?
20,
right? So now you got 20 left. What are you going to do as a real estate practitioner? What do? We sell real estate, right? We sell investments. So you should invest.
I should invest. I think that part of real estate isn't talked about enough, is that even though we have the ability to help people buy and sell property, but we can do it too.
Yes.
So we can help investors build equity and wealth, but we can also do it too. And,
absolutely.
And I think the only way most people think they can do it is by flipping homes, but it's not the only way. There's long-term investments.
Absolutely.
You could
drive rentals, buy Airbnbs.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be just flipping quick money.
There's a lot of different ways to invest in real estate, and I think that people get so caught up in helping customers and chasing the sale and whatever, that they forget that we have a really amazing opportunity to invest in real estate ourselves.
Absolutely. So we take the $20, right?
Yes.
And we invest, right? Then you're left with $20. What are you going to do with that $20? Savings.
Yep.
There goes that's the quick math.
That's really, really great. So you split it 5 ways?
Yep.
Split it 5 ways. So $100 split 5 ways, and you're always saving, you're always investing. Or, I guess they don't have to invest in real estate. If they're with Realty ONE Group, they can invest in our 401k.
Yeah, that's right.
Future.
That's right. So there's several different avenues. But if you take the basic math, it's the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid.
Oh my gosh, I haven't said that in years. When I was a teacher, that was like my favorite thing to use, and I haven't thought about it in so long. I think I need to re-implement KISS. That's so funny. I used to use it all the time when I was putting together lesson plans. I would be like, all right, Tanya, is this KISS?
But you know what? For a real estate agent, you really need to have a good broker. And I always say this. I learned this the hard way. Agents don't leave brands. They leave the broker.
Right.
So what does that say? If you're a great broker, the agent will never leave you. In fact, that agent becomes a recruiter for you.
Right.
But you have to teach that agent. You got to teach that agent because that agent doesn't know everything. I didn't know anything. Nobody really taught me. And I was like, well, I don't want to be an agent like how I was. I want to be a broker like I wanted to have a broker.
Oh, yeah.
So
I've never had a broker. I mean, I've had brokers that were supportive, but my biggest goal is to just be available to meet them where they are. So like today I met with agents before we filmed this, and I told them we were supposed to, whatever I told them we were talking about, we didn't, because that's not what they needed. One agent had a question. They have a deal on fire, really bad, not going well. Supposed to close tomorrow, and the CD hasn't been signed. We're not closing tomorrow. So my piece of advice for her was, and this is something I learned, no one taught this to me, was if you're going to come to someone with a problem, already have the solution figured out. Say, hey, bad news, and I always start with the bad news. Bad news is we're not going to be able to close tomorrow, but I have figured A, B, and C out so we can close no later than blank. And I told the agent, I said, go figure this out, ask these questions, call me if it doesn't work out, because she did what she was supposed to do, but unfortunately, someone else didn't do what they needed to do, and it's a whole domino effect. You've got a seller, that's affected, and a buyer that's affected, but, having support gives them confidence.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing that we're really strong on is the support.
Yeah.
Because we believe that that's what's missing in today's real estate world for our real estate practitioners.
Support and education.
Absolutely.
Support and education.
And we provide those.
And I listened to Eddie to maybe open up a Realty ONE Group because I didn't want to. I didn't want to. When I understood the education piece, because as an educator, the master's in education, I love teaching. I love to teach. And I never felt, maybe there's one other brand there that claims to have a great teaching platform. I was with them before. The teaching platform was not great. There was nothing. There was nothing available. I never met the broker once, not one time. We had a team leader that was kind of available, wasn't available on Saturdays and Sundays. And I don't know about you, but when does real estate happen?
Saturdays, Sundays.
So, I tell the agents, if it's like a generic question about real estate, send me an email. So there's a placeholder for it and we can deal with it on Monday. But if it's time sensitive and it's Sunday at 2 p.m., I'm available.
Yeah.
You have to be.
You have to be.
You have to be available. This is not a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job.
It's so sad that I hear today when I go to the different conferences, I don't even know who my broker is. I get one broker. There's only one broker in my whole state, but I don't know who that broker is. I don't have no support. It saddens me.
It really does. It's terrible. I totally agree with you. And I think that, I have on more than one Sunday Zoomed with agents for 3 or 4 hours, helping them write contracts. And I know that they, A, are putting together a great contract, and B, feel so empowered for the next time they have to write one to ensure that they're putting their best foot forward to help their customer. And that whole circle doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And you could have practiced writing a million contracts, and it could be that they, here in North Florida, we have our own contract, the NEFAR contract. So then they panic if they have to do something on a FAR bar. We don't practice it enough because it doesn't come up enough. But I know that the next time they have to do something, they're like, I did this like for a long time. I'm ready. And then they'll just send it to me. You can review it. And giving people the tools they need to be successful is so important.
So
having one broker. Can you imagine having one broker for the whole state of Florida? Can you imagine if we had that?
I couldn't even imagine.
How do they write NEFAR contracts? Because they probably don't. And we're not the only MLS that has their own contract.
Yeah.
I think the Keys does, maybe Naples.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is, again, that's what sets us apart.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. And that's why but agents that I speak to across, the United States and in Florida especially, say to me, it can't be true. And we have these VIP
right.
recordings every couple months. We invite agents.
Yeah.
Anonymously, just hear us out.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Just hear us out. That's it. If you like us, great. This is what we have to offer. But our agents are the best agents that I wish I had Realty ONE Group when I first started. I probably would have had hair.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny.
But we are number one franchise magazine, number one every year. Risk Media, we're always number one. I don't want to say a lot of accolades, but you have to see it for yourself to believe it. And we invite our agents because we have 2 conferences a year. We have our base camp, which is just for the broker owners.
Yep.
We dedicate that for our broker owners because we understand that our annual conference, our broker owners are taking care of their agents.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not fair for our broker owners not to have exclusive individual attention. So we do that every year on purpose.
It's so great. It's so great.
It's just a broker owner conference, which is called Summit. And if you know, like the hiking and the camping and all that, our next conference is the Summit. Yeah. Which is all of our network, including agent, broker owners, everybody that we deal with.
No, it's really fun. Base Camp's been great. Came from both of them feeling really empowered, a lot of education, a lot of collaboration with other broker owners, which is probably one of my favorite parts, is that ability to talk to other broker owners and learn what's working in their office and why, and how they've shifted their meetings or whatever they've done. It's just so great. I think that really helps everyone.
We had it in Miami, in our own state.
I did. It was beautiful.
I know. We're very excited about the growth of our company. We feel that we have what it takes. As you know, we're not involved in any lawsuits or anything like that. We're a private company. That says a lot.
It's probably a talk for another day about what that means for a real estate company, yes. Right? I don't think that many agents that work for companies that are public understand what that means for them. Mm-hmm. I just isn't, I'm going to maybe say something nice about realtors. Realtors are maybe not often the most business-minded humans, mm-hmm. Right? I think that it's a failure in a lot of them is not understanding they got to plan for the future.
Right. I was naive.
No, you don't know. You don't know. They don't give us this training. It's not like in your class that you take. They're like, hey, like you're a business owner. Like you need to plan for everything. Like everything's on you. You're an independent contractor. And, something that we've done when I was selling real estate was we would pay ourselves on the prior year's monies. Like I didn't pay myself out of my first transactions. It was, we ran it very much like a business. That's what the big corporations do. They pay themselves on last year's profits. And that's how I've always run my business. But no one taught me that. I read a lot of books and that's what they told me to do. And so that's what I did. And it's worked. It's really worked. What I want to learn more about is NAREP. So we want to become more involved. It's very interesting. We learned a lot about it at Base Camp. So can you talk a little bit about that organization and why it's important? Because it's for Hispanics. I'm not Hispanic, but it doesn't mean I can't be a part of it, which I think is a big misnomer.
Just because,
I didn't know that I could join it, but it's really fascinating to understand like what a big part of real estate. Hispanics are a huge part of the buying and selling population. So understanding their needs is really, really important because you got to meet people where they are.
Right. So NARP, which is stands for National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. They have over 45,000 members. They're in almost in every state. They have several chapters. I believe Florida has like 6 or 7 chapters just in the state of Florida in itself. I used to be on the local chapter. I was the president of the local chapter in Central Florida. Okay. And then I became a coach teaching other chapters across the United States how to become a successful chapter. Okay. And then I ascended to the national as a national director. And then my tenure ended. I started with NARP in 2012, and I finished, I think, in 2017, something like that. I was there with them for about 5 years. Yeah, good 5 years. Great organization. They empower their real estate practitioners by, creating wealth through home ownership, especially Hispanic home ownership. We're the I say we're because I'm part of NAREP as well. NAREP and the Hispanic community, Hispanic realtors are the economic engine, the number one minority economic engine of this country.
Yeah, that's what we learned at Base Camp, which I thought was really fascinating because, you don't know what you don't know. And I had no idea. So it sounds like
in fact, NAR came up with statistics, which is astonishing. By the year 2025, 70% of the homeowners will be of Hispanic heritage.
That's incredible.
So why wouldn't you want to
Absolutely.
have some of that market share?
Sure.
And 𝗥𝗢𝗚 realized this a couple years ago when I first started. He goes, how do we get involved in NARP? And I was like, well, I'm pretty connected there. And sure enough, we established a relationship with NARP where we're positioning our brokers to open up chapters to help them expose them to agents and agent pool that they probably wouldn't have had before. And now we have several brokers that are having, that are part chapters and that are leaders within that organization, which has flourished. And
So
they're
amazing.
gaining agents, and just because of the relationship with NARP. There are other trade associations like ARIA, NAGLA Rep, and many others, but NARP was the first one that we decided we want to go after the big one, and because we understand that there's a need, obviously, for education and for the market share.
Absolutely. So it kind of goes back to what you said in the beginning, is when everybody goes this way,
you go that
way, right? And so it's just a different way to build relationships with people, with other agents and the Hispanic community that, like I said, I really know nothing about. But I'd love to, because I think it's really important to understand their needs and what they're looking for. So are a lot of the Hispanic homeowners, are they local? Are they investors, or is it a combination?
It's a combination.
It's a combination.
A combination. But you don't have to be a Hispanic to sell to a Hispanic.
Right. Sure.
It's just creating wealth through Hispanic home ownership.
Yeah.
That's all it really is.
Yeah, no, it's really neat.
So you could be a white person, you could be a black person, you could be whoever, you can sell to a Hispanic. It doesn't matter. It's creating wealth through home ownership. And I keep repeating that because it's so important in today's life. It's not only about Hispanics, but it's also about creating wealth. Everybody wants the American dream. Everybody wants that, white picket fence home. Today, I have not met, I'm 56 years old. I shouldn't have said that, but I'm 56 years old. And I have not met today, to this day, I met somebody that was born to rent. Have you?
Oh. No, and it's, it's so fascinating, that whole, we can talk about the interest rates and how it scares people and the prices went up, and then they're like, oh, I can't find anything, I'm just going to wait. And people that did that 2 years ago, I'm sure they're regretful.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it, because they, paid somebody else's mortgage for 2 years. The whatever house they wanted not only went up in equity, but the interest rates went up, so the payment went up incredibly. And so, we were just talking about this last week, is people are like, oh, is it the right time? Should I buy now? Is it the right time? Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. You cannot time the market.
You cannot.
It's time in the market that matters, right? So, time in the market. You can't time it. It's always a good time to buy. It's always a good time to sell, or it's not.
It's always going to be selling and buying going on, regardless of what's going on.
It doesn't matter what's going on. People are always buying and selling real estate, and you cannot time it. The best time to buy was yesterday.
Absolutely.
The best time to buy was yesterday, last week, last year, 10 years ago, whatever it is. And if that didn't work out, then the best time is now. You got to work within your budget, right? We got to make sure that we have wealth because we're keeping it. We shouldn't be house poor, but you should always be able to find a property that fits.
Save.
Always saving, always saving, which is tough, right? People struggle with it. What is the expression? Keeping up with the Joneses.
Right.
They're trying to have the next best, better, whatever, and they're forgetting that the debt they're building now it doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away.
As a real estate practitioner, the best advice I can give, regardless if you're newbie, experienced, or a top agent, is always be on top of your game.
Sure.
Always look into the future. Don't look at today, because today's already gone.
Sure.
You got to look at, how can you change tomorrow?
Yes.
And only you can do that. Brokers, even us at corporate, can give you almost so much motivation, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. You have two voices when you wake up in the morning. You have one voice that says, let's click 5 minutes more, snooze button so you can sleep in. And you got the other one that says, hey, get your ass up because we're going to make a difference today. That's the one that you got to listen to. But only you can listen to it, and only you can react to it.
So now I'm going to get a little crazy on you, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I follow the law of attraction. Have you ever read the book or watched the movie The Secret?
Yeah.
Oh, I challenge you.
Yeah?
It's so good. It's so good. I used to do it years ago and then got these are excuses, busy with life, busy with real estate, opening the brokerage. And I moved away from it. And I don't know why a month ago I was like, hey, what happened to that law of attraction thing? And it talks about how your thoughts become things.
Right.
And it's incredible. And your thoughts can be negative, and that happens. So we can go back to the beginning where we talked about, or earlier, how we talked about how your energy tells people what's going on with you. So if you're negative, then you're going to give out negative energy. People aren't going to want to work with you because you're portraying it badly, or you could be positive. So you could wake up every day saying, I'm going to go back to sleep, which is kind of negative, or you could wake up every day saying, I got this. People want to work with me. I'm a great realtor. And it works. I have an agent who is on, having a hard time, had a couple of deals fall through very late in the transaction. And I said, hey, I encourage you to watch the movie, The Secret, and then if you have time to read the book. She was like, okay. So she watched it right away. And most people are they don't believe that'll happen. And she's a bowler. So she's like, she told me this after. So she was like, we're bowling on Saturday all day. I said, I'm going to have the best bowling game. I'm going to hit strikes. All she said were positive things. And she had the best bowling game of her life and hit a turkey. I don't know what that means in bowling. Do you bowl?
No, not really.
Yeah, I have no idea what it means. But she was really, really excited about it. And she said, now I believe. I believe that my thoughts.
You have to believe, yeah.
You have to believe in yourself, because I can only tell you so much. You can only tell me so much. But what does Brian Buffini say? Education without implementation is just entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true, right? Someone could listen to us and they could say, oh my gosh, Tanya and Danny had such great ideas. And then they shut the book.
That's it.
And they never do it. So they just got entertained. They thought they were educated, but we could educate people all day long. They don't do anything with it.
Goes right
in one ear and out the other.
Right.
But in that, people really can only get so much information from one thing. So it's important to listen to great podcasts, listen to Waking Up to Win, and get one nugget, implement it, and just
That's all
be
you
better.
need is one nugget. In
just
fact,
one nugget.
And we tell our realtors to come to Summit.
Yes.
To come to Summit. Even if you get one referral out of Summit, even if you haven't gone to Summit, you need to go to, because I can talk all day long about how great Realty ONE Group is, but until you smell it, you feel it, you touch it, you will never feel how huge our organization is.
So let's talk about the referrals. They're pretty amazing, right? It's a pretty cool network of people that really are all like-minded, that want to work with each other. And I've been telling the agents that if you're on the fence about coming to Summit, you should, because you'll meet other agents and you'll refer to them and they'll refer to you, and it'll pay for itself.
Yeah. One commission pays for 3 summits.
Exactly right. And you'll get it.
At least.
You'll get it because we are in Florida. I don't know about other parts of the country, but here, this is the destination. We still have so many people moving here. So it really makes sense to come to Vegas.
Yeah, it truly is. It's an investment in your own company, to be honest with you. So
because you are your own company.
Yes.
Because you're your own business owner.
Absolutely.
It goes back to run your business like a business, please.
Yes. Did you hear her? Please.
Please.
Come to Summit and become part of the one, because there is no other one.
There is no other one. Well, listen, Danny, this was so amazing. I so appreciate you coming.
No, thank you for inviting me.
I am so proud and humbled to be a part of this company, especially when we have people like you helping out. It's just so amazing. So thanks again, and you're going to have to come back on.
Absolutely. You know, I'll leave you with this train of thought for everybody. We're that brand that doesn't sell you a franchise and says, oh, good luck and see you later.
Absolutely not.
No.
I can attest to that.
We're involved with you the rest of your life. So that's what sets us apart. So thank you again. Very proud of you, what you've done. Looking forward for our next podcast.
Thanks again, Danny.
Yes. Thank you.